Wait for a few people to get in this chat. Got some good news to talk about, man. I just seen some articles that was sent to me by a few subscribers. Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Great news, man. If you're a fan of, you want undisputed heavyweight champion, good news. Good news, good news. Now, some people may be in favor of, which title fight at heavyweight they want to see first as far as unification. A lot of fans probably be in favor of Wilder versus Joshua. If you were to ask me, that would be my first pick. But I'm going to stay consistent with what I've been saying since I've been on YouTube since 2010. I want unification, and whatever steps are taken to get there, I'm all for it. So I just got a couple articles sent to me by a few subscribers. Mala2243, he sent me the New Zealand paper, was it stuff.co.nz. He sent me their link, and I seen one on Boxing Scene where it's saying that, let me go ahead and pull up these articles real quick, man. Okay, so I keep disconnecting, but Wilder should try to fight Luis Ortiz, in my opinion. Ortiz or Brazil, whoever is highly ranked in that WBC, and not just some bullshit ranking. Somebody that at least, I'll try to go after Luis Ortiz, man. That's what I'll try to go after. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, man. What's good for non-international boxing? St. Cruising. Everybody's in the chat room, man. Dagstar98, what's good, man? So, yeah, what do y'all think about Parker and Joshua being close to being signed? I like it, man. Whatever gets us to undisputed, I'm all for it. Stylistically, I think it's a good matchup. I think Parker will bring a few things that Joshua hasn't seen yet. Obviously, Joshua will bring a whole style to the table that Parker has yet to face as a pro. And some of you may ask, well, what the hell is Parker going to bring? I think Parker has good hand speed, although some fans may question what hand speed, when he throws combinations. Even when, and I know it's training, but even when I see him training and hitting the mitts, the dude has pretty fast damn hands. I think he is a guy that will have a sturdy chin. When I have seen him get tagged, I haven't seen him waver or his knees get weak or anything. He's young. I do think he will go life and death to keep his title. I do think he is a guy that has a sense of pride, being from New Zealand, his culture and his, everything like that. So I do think he will bring that to the table. And I think he's a lot tougher than people give him credit for. I think Parker is underestimated by a lot of fans. Maybe it's his demeanor, his quiet approach, and he's very humble. And, guys like that often get looked over. Especially in a combat sport like this. But hey, man, you don't want to judge people like that, man. You go in there, that dude, to damn mess around and break your jaw. You know what I mean? But I think it's a good fight. And I think Eddie Hearn should try to push for Jarrell Miller versus Dillian White on that undercard, man. That's what I think about it. I'm not really gonna make this long. St. Cruising says unification always works, but being a Wilder fan, don't want him aged out. Yeah, same, I'm a fan of both, but I'm really a fan of the Wilder-Joshua fight. I've been a fan of that fight since 2015 when I made my first video before Joshua even won a strap. So if you're a new listener, I've been talking about that fight before Joshua was a title holder. It was something about those two guys that I wanted to see even back then. But one step closer to unification, I'm going to stay consistent, man. I'm all for the fight. And hopefully after this fight, if it gets made, it seems as if it's very close, according to both sides. Not just one side saying it. Both sides, Higgins and Hearn, both said it. They're going to have a meeting. There's a few stadiums that they're talking about, even one out in Barcelona. Ali Dago 619 says Joshua Wilder needs to happen. Yeah, but if we get Parker, like I always said, man, Parker, Wilder, Joshua, I prefer the Wilder Joshua, but a mixture of any of that is cool with me. You know what I mean? And then let's, somebody says, Mr. David 6864 says Hearn has the deal for White versus Brown if AJ and Parker happens. Oh, man. I mean, that's, I think it'd be an entertaining fight. You know, I know Brown will come to fight. He's, doesn't move around a lot. He wants to throw big right hands and stuff like that. Dillian White is not going to run away from a fight. I mean, it could be an entertaining scrap, man. But to me, you got two young guys like Dillian White and Jarrell Miller, where he could make that fight, man. That Jarrell Miller White is all action. You know what I mean? Because trust me, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think Joshua Parker, they're going to be so humble and cordial towards each other. But who knows, man? Parker's been talking a little bit of shit, and so has AJ recently. So who knows what they'll say? But they may be so respectful. The press conference may just be like, I mean, some people may like it, but I guarantee you, White and Miller, not just in the ring, but just the lead up and press conference, will make it very entertaining. As far as outside the ring things, I know a lot of people, I just care about the inside the ring. Well, of course we do, but there's nothing wrong with an entertaining press conference too, man. But I think that's the fight that should be made. Lucas Brown, hopefully the money will be right, because he didn't want to fight White that date that, when White fought Helenius, he didn't want to take the fight. He said the money wasn't right. So I guess if the money's right now, he'll take the fight. But that's pretty much it, man. Not going to make this too long. Not going to turn this into an hour-long thing. Just want to give my brief opinion about this. Somebody says, yeah, JP out of character. He got shit talking in his ears. Even if he is out of character, man, I mean, shit, you got to get in there and fight anyways. You know what I mean? It's not like he's out here, it's not like he's coming out, grabbing his nutsack, yelling and going crazy. No, he's just talking a little bit. There's nothing wrong with talking a little bit of shit, man. Y'all got to fight. It's competition. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to win. You got to win the war outside the ring too. You know what I mean? So maybe he may get Joshua to get off his square a little bit. You know what I mean? But he's not doing nothing outlandish or boisterous or anything like that. Just a little bit of shit talking, Shit, to me, there's nothing wrong with a guy saying, hey, man, I'll whoop your ass. Ain't no wrong with that. What does he want to make the other guy mad at him? You know what I mean? You got to fight anyways. As Evander Holyfield would always say what you want, get as mad as you want. We got to fight anyways. Roz Cloud 222, what's the deal, man? David G says, AJ Wilder, summer 2018, hope Wilder versus Ortiz next. Me too. I think Wilder should be going after Ortiz, Brazil, I guess people are saying that White and Brown, and I also just said White and Miller makes sense on the undercard. But you know what really makes sense? If we really want to be honest about this, put fucking egos to a side, Ashy Knuckles, what's the deal, man? One of the OGs of the whole YouTube, where you want to call it, just the whole YouTube talking about boxing. You know what I mean? Ashy Knuckles, man, was good. Everything aside, man, what'd really be dope is to have Wilder versus like Ortiz or White or Brazil, whoever it is, on the undercard of Joshua versus Parker. That'd be dope, man. Like that, or even if they don't do the undercard thing, have like a double header where Wilder fight Joshua fight can be aired first, or however you want to do it. Just you can air both fights one after the other from different locations. That's how it should be, man. Not all, but it's, to me, egos and man, boxing sometimes is just stupid complications, man. It just shouldn't be in the way, man. That right there, come on, man. Like, fans will be Truth Holder says, didn't Ortiz get a 1-year ban? Well, he got banned by the WBA. WBC still has him in their rankings. He could still fight. It's just for that sanctioning body, they're banning him. Remember, they're the ones that came out and put a ban to him. But he's still in those WBC rankings, man. So, shit, Brazil, Ortiz, or whoever it is, just somebody in that top 5 that's a solid competition or a solid guy. I'm not saying one of those guys that got some type of gift ranking. I'm talking about like a solid guy, Brazil, whoever. Just whoever you want to throw in there, man. Fill in the blank. You know what I mean? That's who Wilder should fight next. And then, like I said, they should have the Wilder versus whoever he going to fight on the same day as Joshua versus Parker. So then there will be we don't know who that guy is or not. All the fights be going on that day. You know what I'm saying? But that's too much like right. That's way too much like right. Way too much. Dave Magar says, "What's up, Mr. Start?" Yeah, man, this is just a quick, just a little quick video about. I'm gonna keep it under 20 minutes though. It's 14 minutes and 39 seconds. Just a little quick video about Parker and Joshua inching closer to being signed, and this is according to not only Eddie Hearn but also Dave Higgins, and I guess they're right. They're either close to that 35% percentage they're going to get net, or it's right around there. You know what I mean? So this is good news. If you want undisputed champion, you want, one step closer to that. This is great news. And like I said at the start, some people may be more in favor of wanting to see Joshua versus Wilder, and that's cool too. But this is one step closer. Blood boxing was good, man. Yeah, you finally caught up with me, man. I tried to get on your stream yesterday, man. I want to get into that Thurman and Spence little topic, man. I don't know, man. To me, in my opinion, Thurman sounds way different than he did. And I know people argue, well, once you start winning titles and getting paydays, your opinion changes and you're not as hungry. But to me, man, it's like he's speaking as if he's like this, 7-year reigning champion with 18 title defenses, and he's a mega pay-per-view star. Like, to me, that's how he sounded, man. And it's just like, then the man said on national TV, sitting right next to Spence, saying, didn't he say I'm not as hungry as Spence is right now or some shit? I'm just like, this is a totally different cat from the cat from 2 years ago that was saying I got ain't afraid to let. He had all these rhymes and riddles, and I was like, damn, I like Keith Thurman. I still like him, but he's talking a whole different tune, man. A whole different tune. You know what I'm saying? D-Style was good. Triple H 1200. We always be disagreeing, but what's good, man? Good to see you in the chat. M. Reynolds was good. Yeah, Thurman was talking nonsense to me, man. He's still a good fighter now. I'm not trying to take away from his fighting skills, but I know I got ain't afraid to let it go. Don't duck me, son. To now, just so philosophical and, oh boy, save that shit, man. Red Fox was good. What else I want to touch on while I'm on here? Oh yeah, this off topic, man. But sometimes I'll just go on. I'll go to Sweet Fights. I'm subbed to a few channels, man, that I've been subbed to for damn near 10 years, where they got like classic fights and just random. I'll have my TV set for random fights to pop up. And I was watching with my son. We were sitting down watching. We were watching Ivan Robinson, man. Yo, Ivan Robinson was very skilled. He beat Arturo Gotti twice. They had a fight of the year one time. I believe that was like 97, 98, 99, somewhere around there. He also fought, Angel Manfredi. Who else did he fight, man? Phillips, he fought somebody else for a title back in the day. But anyways, man, I was watching Ivan Robinson and Chavez Sr. Man, this dude Ivan Robinson was showing him so much damn respect, man. He hugged him before the fight. After rounds, he was smacking Chavez on the butt. He bowed to him before the fight. I'm just like, gee, come on, Ivan, man. Damn. Oh yeah, I know all about Frankie Randall, man. He the one that beat Chavez, gave him his first L. Although we can argue Sweet Pea, really did beat Chavez, in my opinion. That's a whole different video, man. Also, the other day, since we're on Chavez, I went back and I haven't watched this in a while. I remember this clear as day, man, at my uncle's house. I'm getting off topic now, man, but just a lot of fights, man. Haven't watched it in a while. Had to go back and watch Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, man. Yes, me, my family, my uncles. My oldest uncle was a huge Meldrick Taylor fan. He had us over there. I remember that night clear as day, man. His wife at the time made some fried chicken. We over there kicking it. They playing cards. And he was winning the fight. I mean, you guys know how it ended, man. But I just remember like a freeze frame of when the stoppage happened, when Steele stopped the fight. There was like literally 30 to 45 seconds of just complete silence in a house that was jumping and talking. Everybody, we were just sitting there like, this motherfucker done stopped this fight. It was just like a pause, man. We were just like, and we're just shocked that he stopped that fight. But Chavez gave me and my family some memorable nights, man, watching his fights, man. because we had fight parties a lot. Yeah, Sweet Pete beat Oscar too. Yeah, I thought he beat that one too. Hey, Sweet Pea face at the end of that one was so funny, man. When he kind of just was smiling with his gold tooth shining, just kind of threw the glove up like, come on, y'all. That shit was classic, man. AZ says, did you see AJ KO Parker or first decision score? Oh, do I see him KOing Parker? No, I don't. I think that one goes to decision. Sweet Pea versus Roger was good. Yeah, that was good too. Roger actually knocked Sweet Pea down. Wasn't that fight in Virginia? Somebody let me know if that fight was in Virginia. Yeah, I remember that. Gerald McClellan is one of my favorites. He was a beast, says Ali Dago 619. Man, that man had dynamite in his hands, man. I remember the fights with Julian Jackson. And there's a legendary Kronk Gym sparring session he had with James Toney. Was it the one he had with JT that was floating around the internet some years ago? I'm not sure if it's still around. My favorite current heavyweight right now. You know what, man? You're not going to like this answer because I don't really have one. Wilder is up there, but so is Joshua Park. Look, if you guys have been following me, man, I've always said I'm just so excited about the whole new crop. You know what I mean? I really don't have one favorite. They all, I mean, shit, I get just excited when the AJ fight's coming up as I do as a Wilder fight. It's not like back in the day where Mike Tyson was my guy in the late 90s, you know what I mean? Or growing up with my father and uncles where Larry Holmes was my guy. You know, I just really don't. I'm being dead honest with you, man. I'm not just going to tell you somebody just to tell you somebody. They all pretty much shit. Luis Ortiz was a guy that I really, really was enjoying watching, especially around about that 2015. I'm just more excited for the best fights. You know what I mean? And Parker versus AJ is a good fight to me. So I'm excited about that. More than having one guy that I like to follow or that's my favorite. Fun fight, somebody says, Areola versus Harper. Yeah, that was a good fight. Harper was very out of shape for that fight, and it was a very good, entertaining PBC fight. And then Zhang Jili, the Chinese boxer heavyweight, he's undefeated right now. He's rated by one of the sanctioning bodies. He won a silver medal at the Olympics in 2008, and then he lost to, I believe it was Joshua in 2012. Did he lose him in the quarterfinals? But anyways, he actually destroyed Harper recently, and Harper came in if you go watch that fight on YouTube, he looks like a totally different fighter. His physique is totally different, and he got taken care of real quick. But yes, as far as Areola versus Harper, that was an entertaining little scrap. D-Style says pick one, Morales or Barrera. Morales. Man, I'm thinking about doing a series of just different fight parties from my past, man. And it wasn't just, now when I was a kid, it was more just sitting there listening to my uncles and father talk. I was a kid, you know what I mean? They weren't really trying to hear what the hell I had to say that much. But from my like 18 through about the age of 24, when I started to get like my own crib or my own houses and stuff, and I had like my college days, and there was females around and alcohol around, man, it wasn't just watching fights, y'all. It was crazy shit was happening at these fight parties, man. Crazy little incidences and shit after the fight parties, going to clubs, and some of my homies or associates, they were like homies of my homies, but kind of cool with me, going to clubs, getting knocked the fuck out and knocking people. Man, it was just crazy. Just crazy. I don't know what it is about fights and men. They just like, we get all bucked up after watching fights and shit, man. It's like, calm your ass down, man. You was not Roy Jones Jr. You was not motherfucking Prince Nassim Hamed. Like that Hamed versus Barrera, that was a crazy night, man. After that was a crazy, yeah, but we get amped up. I was on a video early on Dream Chasing Boxing. I was going back and forth I forgot the commenter's name, DGO215, I think, forgot. But I was telling him about, it was after the Roy Jones, this when I was in college, it was the Roy Jones versus Glenn Kelly, the one where Roy had his hands behind, that one, had his hands behind his back. Two of my homeboys was going back and forth the whole time, talking shit, we drinking, talking shit. And my roommates at the time, we had a bench press bar set up in the front room, and we had gloves there too. So they talking shit. Now we ain't got no headgear, no mouthpiece, no grease to put around the eye, nothing. It's just raw. Somebody can get fucked up. These dudes going, it was after the fight, they going at it. One of my homeboys trying to have his hands behind his back. These dudes end up swinging wild, crazy and shit, crashed into the bench press bar, put a hole in the wall, which was at our crib. That was me and my roommate's crib. He was one of my teammates too. I played college ball. Put a hole in the damn wall. The weight set fell over. Man, it was just nasty, man. Like they really wanted to fight outside, trying to blow up our spot. The police came. We already in a small college town. It was just fucking crazy, man. I got so many stories. The Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor won that fight. Man, just a lot of memories, man, with these fight parties. Roy Jones Jr. or Ezra Charles at 175. Who wins? I'm gonna go with Roy, but Ezra Charles was a beast. I actually did a Charles versus Bob Satterfield post-fight video. If you guys want to check that out, he knocked Satterfield out, smooth, cold out. And Satterfield was a come forward, exciting fighter to watch. St. Cruzan says we always put on the gloves outside after a big fight in NYC. Yeah, man, it's something about these fight parties, or something about watching boxing with a group of dudes, man. Dudes want to get up and shit. One time this shit almost happened to me, man. It was this dude. This is my last story, then I'm gonna cut it, man. But it was this dude. I'm not gonna get too much into the activities I was in during this time, but some shit I wouldn't be doing now. But this was back. It was like a year after I got out of college, and I'm doing my thing. This dude was always jealous of me, man. Always jealous. I mean, to the point where this one I had braids, and my braids came down to like shoulder length. And he had his braids, and his braids was all up on the back of his neck and shit. I know this sounds crazy, right? But the dude was just so jealous. He always thought like his girl was looking at just that type of shit. And I got my girl, she's my wife now. I had her with me. Now this was during the it was the pay-per-view for Mayweather Gotti. And just the whole time he's standing up like shadow boxing and looking at me, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna fuck around and knock this dude out, man. To where me and him almost got into it. And I'm like, man, this dude hyped up over watching this fight, man. And he was real thin. Like, I would have felt bad beating up this dude, man. All right, so they say, what's the latest on AJ versus Parker? I just got on. It's close to being signed, according to Eddie Hearn and Dave Higgins. It's not just one side saying it. It's close to being put together by both teams. And Higgins is going to catch a flight out to the UK, meet with Hearn, and try to get it signed, sealed, and done. And they're talking about March or April. You know what I mean? St. Cruzan says Ezra Charles Jones is 50-50. Yeah, but the best version of Roy Jones, man, I think is probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen. And Ezra Charles was a beast. You know what I mean? But Roy Jones at his best, man, at his peak, it was damn near unfair. People talk about, I see, boxing is just, I can go on and on, but people talk about like Floyd has a great defense and Bernard Hopkins back in his day and James Tony. Man, Roy defense was so great. It wasn't about shoulder roll. It was just like he would just move his whole body out the way. Hands down and all. To the point where it was almost like unfair watching him in his prime. It was like, man, this motherfucker's so fast. Damn, like you can't. And he ain't even fighting textbook. My oldest uncle always say somebody gonna catch his ass one day. Somebody gonna catch his. He was really salty because when my uncle Will, man, he was real salty over the way Roy Jones beat James Toney. It was just so effortless. You know what I mean? It was the way he back when they fought. That was another fight party, but his defense was just off the chain, man. He was so quick and gifted. You can't even teach guys, like you would never teach nobody to go in there and fight like that at a boxing gym. They don't teach you, okay, first day class, we're going to drop our hands and have our chin out and move around the ring. It was just God-gifted ability, man. Red Fox, he was special. Yes, he was special. He did end up getting caught, though. He did. I think my uncle was the one that did that for y'all boxing fans because he was He was furious that one day that motherfucker gonna get caught. All that fighting like a chicken shit. Man, that's bullshit, man. And my uncle used to get hot. Yeah, he burns out really fast, but comes... Okay, I don't know who he's talking about. Black Reality TV was good, man. Andrew Little says, Mr. Boxing, do you think Shannon Briggs will ever fight again? He seems to only want a big fight, but doesn't want to put the work in and had a shot and failed the test. I don't know. Yeah, man, that's what it seems like Briggs is doing. And I understand at his age, he wants a big fight. But that's not really how things go, especially when you haven't had a decent fight in damn near 10 years. And Briggs is one of my favorite characters of today. And I respected him back in the day, although I thought he lost to George Foreman. He showed heart and guts against Lennox Lewis back in the day. I like Shannon, man. You know, he was the theme, my intro to this channel for quite some time. But that test, whether you want to say, oh, it was bullshit or he has asthma, okay, fair enough, but he kind of blew it, you know what I mean? But hopefully Shannon can get in there and fight somebody. I mean, I think there's some intriguing matchups. I'm not sure how much money they can make for the fight or if it's feasible for them, but Antonio Tarver, Amir Mansour, you know, that senior division type of fight. I'm a fan of old guy fights. I've said that before. I like old guy fights. One old guy fight that I really wanted to watch that never happened, you guys heard me talk about it a million times, is Foreman versus Holmes between 1991 and 1994. I would have loved to see that fight. But I really don't know what's going on with Shannon, man. Carlton Palmer says, what time do you call this? Not sure, but if you're talking about, I'm not sure, I don't know if you're a UK cat or not. I've commented it with you before, but I did the live stream yesterday, UK time, bro. Right now, man, I'm just doing these joints spur of the moment. That's why, if you guys notice, man, I used to drop 7-8 videos in one day. Now, you know, that format is getting a little bit old and like more and more people are starting to do it, which is cool. But I just kind of want to go in a different direction with the way I'm doing my thing. And so I like doing these. I know for some people, these long videos really not your thing, and that's cool. I don't expect you to watch the whole thing. Maybe you can chop it up, you know, if you really dig into content like that. But if you just catch it for 5-10 minutes, that's cool too, man. You know, I'm not ESPN or Sky Sports. I'm just a dude on here, just a passionate boxing fan, man. So if you do tune in, that's cool, man. And I'm gonna do, you know, more of the videos about prospects and contenders, but some damn fights got to get made. You know what I mean? I've done all the prospect watch videos I can muster right now. I've done close to 90 damn prospects, man. So I know there's a few more out there, man. So I'll start doing those when these guys turn pro and start getting some fights under their belt. And when the prospects that I have covered, once they start stepping up and taking on meaningful fights against notable journeymen or maybe a 50-50 fight against another fellow prospect, I'll do more videos. Carl Palmer says it's almost 4 in the morning here. Well, shit, hey, top of the morning. You dig? Top of the motherfucking morning. D-Style says there's been many errors on YouTube. Yeah, this is the Hangout era. You're right. It is. And what's so crazy is I see a lot of cats doing the Hangouts now, man. And people have been asking me, hey, man, you should do a Hangout. You should do a Hangout. You should do a Hangout for like a year and a half. The odd fella says, greeting from the north side. What it do, odd fella? Yeah, but to D-Style's point, yeah, man, it was the era of, you know, if you drop, I remember back in the day, like that 07, 08, 09, like if you drop 2-3 videos in a week, you was an active uploader. You know what I'm saying? And then with the transition of the new phones and how you can just literally pop it on there right away and shit like that, cats, including myself, start dropping 6, 7, 8 videos in one day. And then I'm the type of cat, man, where I don't like to be on my computer all day. I haven't used that computer in my room. I ain't used that joint in a minute, like months. It's been months since I even me and my wife turned that computer on. The other computer, my kids always use that for school and different things, games and different things. But I haven't edited a video in, shit, man. months. That's why you guys don't see the Shannon Briggs, Let's Go Champ, and my whole theme. I just don't feel like it, man. I just don't feel like it. But to me, it shouldn't bring down the quality of what I got to say. Kiwi Box was good, man. He says, seems many are having issues with the video feed on this new app. Yeah, just when I was doing this, it flashed really quick, and then it flashed back off that I was having a bad feed, and so I don't know. Carlton Palmer says, get on Beats Hangout. I like to go on Boxing Beats. I've been on there a few times. Sometimes I'll get on real quick, voice my opinion, and I'll hop off. When there's hangouts with a lot of people on there, there's a lot of talking over each other, and sometimes it can be very entertaining hangouts. But sometimes I just like listening, and then when there's that many guys, at least one or two people are going to have my same talking points. You know what I mean? But it's, I still got my own opinion, but sometimes it could be 8 people on and 3 people may have the same talking point as me. So sometimes I just hop off and listen. Or if there's something I want to add to what's said, then I'll try to hop on. But if guys pretty much covered it, then I'll just listen. Kiwi Box says, any inside info on Ruiz Jr.'s February 3rd opponent? Nope, none. I've tried to contact Andy again. If you guys go on my playlist, the playlist with fighters I've interviewed Ruiz a couple times, man, and try to get back in contact with him, but not happening now. And I'm not the type of cat, man, that's going to keep asking and asking and asking. It's just, I'll ask maybe twice, and if not, then I understand you're probably busy. Shit, I'm busy too, man. Just because you're a fighter and I'm a fan doesn't mean that I'm not busy. But once we hear something, man, I'll definitely do a video about who Andy's going to fight next. But I haven't heard anything. I know that he's training. I follow him on Instagram. Ali Dago 619 says, have you seen the press conference for Spence and Peterson? No, I haven't seen it. Was it lit? Was they talking shit? I haven't seen it yet. Hey, man, Peterson comes to get it, man. We better not be overlooking Peterson like he's some, like he's some scrub, man. That dude comes to get it, man. I don't know if y'all remember, I went off on the Peterson versus Garcia post-fight, man. Man, I was so pissed off with the way Peterson fought. And I thought he could have beat Danny, man. D-Style says, what do you think of Shabransky's performance? Man, that boy got lit up like a Christmas tree, man. He got lit up like a Christmas tree. Albert Haynes, is it Hainsworth he's fighting? Jennings? Hainsworth is a dude. Did I say Albert Haynes? Hainsworth is a dude. There's no fight footage on him. I tried to look up footage and there's nothing. I actually did a video about that, man. Type in Jennings, Hainsworth, Mr. Boxing today, and you'll hear exactly what I had to say about that, man. There's no footage. But from what I've read, he seems pretty decent for that level of opponent. St. Cruisin says, who's your favorite prospect? Man, there's some ones that really stand out. Dubois stands out. Darmani Rock, although people get on his physique, then he could lose a little bit of weight. He's still young. I like Darmani Rock. I like Alexander Teslenko. Here I go naming people, man. I'm going to forget. And once I turn this off, there's going to be about 20 damn prospects. But there's so many of them, man. Sorenko, who's working with the OG, James Ali Bashir. I like him. F.A. Ajagba. There's just a lot of them. Go check out my heavyweight prospect playlist, man. I got about 80 of them. It's hard for me to pick one. It's hard to pick favorites and all this shit. For me, it's easier to like talk about favorites from the past. Because right now, I'm just enjoying the scene, you know what I mean? But there's some guys that stand out to me. Dubois stands out. What's up, Nelson Taylor? What it do, man? Trey Leapy Morrison's another guy that I like. Yeah, there's a lot of them, man. Like I said, I've covered damn near 90 prospects on my prospect playlist. You guys go check that out if you haven't already. Or if you're new to my channel and you're wondering what the hell am I talking about. Ashy Knuckles says, damn right, Spence versus Peterson would be a war. Yeah, man, that dude gonna come to get it, man. He ain't coming in there to lay down or to become a welcome mat. Hey, man, step over me into your Thurman fight. You know what I mean? Walk on me and through me to, towards your... Nah, man, he's gonna bring it, man. That boy gonna bring it, but I'm gonna favor Spence. But don't be surprised, man, if you see Spence have to readjust or think some things out for a few rounds. Peterson's a dog, man. That boy a dog. Red Fox says Fury's been training. Yeah, he's been doing this shit over the last year where he'll train and put up Instagram videos and you'll get excited and then he'll disappear. And then he'll come back, look like he weighs more than he did before and train. And, so to me, man, I'll be more serious with him when there's like a fight being announced. And I think I heard, what's my man's name? Pricey. David Price talking about something he want to fight. Man, Price need to sit his ass down somewhere, man. I don't know, man. Maybe in the UK they will get all excited about that, but that's no shit I'll be excited about. Fury beat that dude with one hand, man. Mr. Davis 6864 says, believe in the return of the Mac. Yeah, man, you gotta make some shit happen he has to make some shit happen for me to be a believer though, man. I mean, it's good to see him on Instagram in good spirits, man, but Big Mo says, doesn't Trey Lippy Morrison has a brother that fights? Yes, he do. Kenzie Morrison. I've done videos on both those dudes. Kenzie Morrison. Yes, I think Trey is the better of the two brothers, though. Kiwi Box says, I heard someone say Joyce versus Fa this morning. Good fight, but I think Fa would stop him in my opinion. Ooh, I don't know about that one, man. That's a good fight right there. That's a good fight. I would favor Fa. Some of you probably seen him fight pro and you probably don't think he has a back foot game where he can move. Go watch his World Series of Boxing fights. He can move. That big boy can move, man. He's another guy I also interviewed too. But Fa can move. I think he's a big man. So you get a big guy like that punching you in the face, man. The punches you don't see coming, you could put you to sleep. He destroyed Fred Latham. I thought that was his toughest fight on paper thus far. And Joyce looks a little bit robotic, man, but for his size and his build, I think he moves pretty decently. He's not going to be in there moving like Ali, so I'm not expecting him to look like that. But like I said, for a guy his size and build, he's okay. He doesn't move as well as Vladimir Klitschko, like that type of footwork, or Vitali, but pretty decent, I guess. Has experience, but shit, Fa has experience too. I think it'd be an entertaining fight, to tell you the truth, man. I think that'd be entertaining. Ashy Knuckles says 2 years of inactivity and current weighs 350 pounds. Yeah, man. And then when he does get started training, you get excited like, yeah, shit, Fury's back. There we go. And then he disappears off social media. And then he'll go on some tirade about, some personal stuff. And then I'm just sitting there like, well, shit, I don't know what that was about. And then he kind of just goes away. Then he'll come back. Like I said, he's like Candyman or some shit. Yeah, truth holder, Philippe Herkovic. Yeah, the guys from the Olympics, too, they're also standout prospects. See, this is why I like naming prospects. I always forget. Philippe Herkovic, Ivan Daichko, Tony Yoka. Yeah, I'm tripping. I forgot a lot of guys. Herkovic was actually my favorite to win gold. I did a video about that, about the super heavyweight division before the Olympics. Yoka and Herkovic were my two favorites going into the fight. Herkovic was a guy I thought that would be the better pro. This was late 2015 when I did that video. Andrew Little says, what do you think about Martin Bakoli-Alunga kid? Go check out my heavyweight prospect video. I did a video on him too. I think he's solid. I think he's a good body puncher. Last fight, he ended the fight with a good body shot that came out very aggressive in that fight. I like him as a prospect. I know he's got some good sparring. He's sparred Joshua and a few other guys out there. I like him as a prospect also. Ali Dago says, who wins, Wilder or Prime Holmes? Come on, man. We know the Eastern Assassin would have took care of business. Wilder couldn't have dealt with that jab. I like Wilder, man, but when it comes to guys like Prime, like Holmes, Ali, Tyson, guys like that, I'm picking those guys, man. And I've done videos about it, breaking styles down and all that. But Lawrence Williams says, I believe you meant to say Rockman Jr. Rockman Jr., I want to see more of him too. I don't know if you heard the story. I don't know if you heard the story about his one of his last fights, man, where the dude wouldn't come out the dressing room. Rockman Jr. is in the ring waiting for the guy to come out. The guy wouldn't come out, so then they had some officials go back there to see, what's going on. The dude refused to come out, and the ring announcer got on the mic and says, I forgot the gentleman's name, man, who didn't come out, but he was like, whatever his name is, has left the building. So that shit was oh shit, that shit was crazy, man. D-Jack 420 says Prime Holmes had one of the best jabs ever. Shit, man. Even shout out to Blood Boxing. Even box haircut Larry Holmes, when he had the box haircut fade, he even had one of the best jabs. You know what I mean? Even at that stage of his career, he still had a damn good jab. The odd fella says Simon King. Kid from Canada. He's another decent prospect, but he's up there. Alexander Teslenko took his career to Canada, so shit, I'm not sure King is the best prospect in Canada. Then you still got Oscar Rivas out there too. Canada got a few little nice heavyweights up there, man. But yeah, Simon King definitely looks. Blood Boxer says box top version, yeah. And he had the little V, the little Patrick Ewing in a few interviews that I've seen. He had the little V in the front too. Remember how Patrick Ewing had that V in the front of his box haircut? Salty Sally says, who's the Brazilian fighter who's 41-0 in heavyweight? Shit, man. And I know a lot about these current cats too. I have no idea, man. Send me his name. 41-0? I don't know about that. The odd fella says, yeah, Makabu's brother, he's a little small. Nah, man, his Martin Bakole Makabu, he's about 6'5", about 240, something like that. I guess if you're comparing him to, being 6'8" or some shit, then I guess he would be considered small, but nah. Yeah, the peak. There it is, Bud Boxing, that peak in the front. Ernest Terry says Holmes, perfect fight, Leroy Jones. Is that bad news? No, what was his nickname? Big Bad Leroy Jones? He messed up his eye, man. Hey, Leroy Jones wasn't that bad, man. He wasn't that bad. His physique wasn't all that, but he wasn't that bad. But I believe that's the fight. He got his eye messed up. Let me know if I'm correct, Ernest Terry. I got a lot of fights in my head, man, so I may be off. All right, I'm correct. Cool. So my memory ain't that bad, man. All right, Lawrence Williams says, do you think Malik Scott will have another TV fight after a TBS? No, I don't. I don't, man. I don't. But you know what's interesting about Malik Scott? And I've said this before. If you watch Malik Scott train, work out, and then he also does this thing on his Instagram account where he, I believe he's a trainer. He kind of trains people on the side. The dude has very good skill, man. That dude has some damn good boxing skills. Moving his head, footwork, combination punching, bending at the waist, leaning back, countering, pull counter, everything. When I watch him, I'm like, damn, this dude look dynamite. Then he gets in the ring, he fights I don't know, man. And I know training and a real fight is different, but as far as training, Hey, that dude can tighten up your game, man. When it comes to teaching you those things, he can tighten up your game. And that's why, and that's another guy. There's two guys that I picked to beat Deontay Wilder. And I know in hindsight, looking at it now, it's like, what? Blah, blah, blah. Malik Scott and Stavern. I thought because I didn't think Wilder had a back foot game. I talked about this a million times. And he showed me he did in the first fight. And then Malik Scott, looking at their skill, how they move, footwork, balance, all that. I know Wilder had the power advantage. But I thought Malik Scott has the head movement to get out of the way of that shit or to see it coming a million miles away. He was another guy that I favored. Fee Kebab says, I'm not gonna read that part, but he says he takes dives and shit his pants. Yeah, then the Wilder fight, man. I remember doing a video about this. People debate with me, man, but it looked like he got KO'd to his glove. Some people say, nah, it snuck right behind the glove and caught the corner of his head. Nah, it looked like he hit his glove, man. That shit was right on the, and that shit goes. And I'm a big Tyson fan, but I thought Bruce Seldon didn't want that work against Tyson. That Scott fight looked like the remix of Bruce Seldon and Tyson, in my opinion. Ernest Terry says, nah, with the Cooney fight. Yeah, if you're talking about the, I'm not sure if you're talking to me or somebody in the comment section, but that Cooney fight as far as jabs, I know you said that was Holmes' best jab. I thought it was the Cooney fight. And like I said before, man, watching that one, it almost looked like a video game, the way how fast it was. Like, when you're watching a fight sometimes, man, especially like them older fights, when like there's a color like a bright red, it goes forward and comes back, how there's like that glaze over the television. Like that's what that shit looked like. Like it had it was like it had a vapor following it or something, man. Like that motherfucking jab was fast as hell. And he wasn't bringing back that far. It would just be pop. I mean, it was just so damn fast, man. My father actually ordered that pay-per-view for $21, Holmes versus Cooney. That pay-per-view cost $21 back in the day. At least where we were staying at. Con Arson says, which one of the Olympic medalists looked the most promising to you so far? I have to say Herkovich, man, because his fights he's has some devastating victories. Fast, quick, got him over quick. Ivan Daichko, I don't know what his power is going to look like, man. He's very tall, can get you off balance with jabs. Yoka has good legs. He's very fast. He almost, he's working with Virgil Hunter, man. And when I see Yoka train, I'm not going to say he's trying to, but it seems as if he's mimicking some of the Andre Ward movements. And you know how Ward kind of have, he'll tuck his chin, duck a little bit, paw with the jab, try to get close, then stick a hard jab and come with a right hand and dig with a body shot, like that whole type of thing. It might work for him. And plus, he's a kind of a speedy guy. And his amateur, in my opinion, he was more speedy, like moving around, then pop, 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 4 or 5 punch combination, move around, being speedy. So if he slows down a little bit and tries to fight like that Ward type of style, we'll see how it fits him. F.A. Ajagba, he's another guy that looks pretty damn powerful. It's kind of hard. I mean, I'll say Philippe Herkovich right now, in my opinion. Joyce took care of business too against Ian Lewison. But I like Herkovich, man. Ernest Terry says Ernie Shaver's the second fight with Holmes was his best jab. We could argue that. But I like the one against Cooney though, man. That'd be my favorite right there. Triple H 1200 says, check out Foreman versus Lyle. Man, I watched that fight so many damn times. That's one of my favorites, man. The Odd Fella says, Char versus Yusinov was a joke. Hey, I did my post-fight to that. I thought it was pretty entertaining, man. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was an entertaining little scrap, man. Is this something I'm going to watch over like replay value? Nah, but just for when I watched it, wasn't really doing much, just turned it on, peeped it out. But I'm a heavyweight nut though, man. You know what I mean? I'm a fanatic, man. So There'll be fights that I say look decent to me where y'all be scratching your head like, what? That fight was decent? That shit was boring. But that's just me, man. I'm psycho with it. Truth Holder says Malik Scott equals Huey Fury. Yeah, man. Them boys got to sit down on them punches, man. Them boys got to sit down on them punches. You know, guys want to mimic guys like Holmes and Ali, but what they forget is them dudes actually sit down on punches. And to me, I call them guys boxer fighters. You know how some guys call boxer punchers? I call them boxer fighters. Guys that can box, move around. When I say box, because they're boxing, right? But using out boxer technique, moving around, working with the jab, looking for the 1-2 and combinations. But when they knew that shit wasn't working or this shit's really not winning me the fight, I'm going to just stand here and fight with you. I'm going to back you up off me. You're going to respect me. You know what I mean? Whether you think I'm a power puncher or not, or am I perceived to be or not, you're going to respect me. And that's what I loved about those guys. Hey, y'all, man. I appreciate y'all joining me. I was going to just make this into 15 minutes, man. But when I get to talking about boxing, man, I can go for hours to the point where my wife be coming in like, hey, you know, dinner's ready, don't you? You know what I mean? Or my son start looking at me like, get off. You know what I mean? But get off the line talking about boxing, Pop. But I can talk about this shit forever, man. But I'm going to end it here. Under the weather, man. This damn tea that I had is cold as hell now. But I'm going to be back, man. I'm going to holler at y'all in a minute, man. Y'all be easy, man. I'm gone. See, I'm getting text messages. All right, y'all. I'm gone, man.